All right, it's showing we are live.
Are we live?
You're on the air. What are we doing here, Nikki, while I get this set up?
All right, well, I'm a little out of practice. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been on this thing.
That's right. Coach Maddie has been the co-host.
Yes.
So we got Facebook Live going, and that video is going to be turned into a YouTube video as we get our wireless wired mics put on here. Nikki's already got hers. Set up, and we're going to get our podcast recording app. As you're tuning in, you get to see some behind the scenes tech work here as we get this going and how we make that happen and this happen. All right. This is Joey Atlas. You're listening to the Wellness and Weight Loss for Women podcast episode. Nikki, number
15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have 14 typed up on there.
Oh,
yeah. So you're looking at 14 there. It's actually 15. And what is the big topic for today?
We have got 5 fitness and nutrition mass market myths.
5 fitness and nutrition mass market myths. We're doing this because this is one of my favorite topics.
Is it?
Right? Yeah, it is. So before we get into that, though, give you some context as you're watching and as you're listening on the audio podcast. It's almost 1 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. We're at the front of the studio in St. John's. Nikki and I have just finished our weekly focus meeting.
Mm-hmm. We
usually have our focus meeting weekly at 11 o'clock on Thursdays. We go over all things, doings, progress, new initiatives, new programs that we're going to be rolling out, new ideas, feedback. So we might as well talk about the youth sports conditioning a little more, right?
Yeah.
So, for anybody listening, we are officially going to be starting our first youth performance sports conditioning training classes Monday, December 2nd.
December 2nd.
We're opening up 2 classes to start with, Monday nights and Wednesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
What time?
7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m. Age ranges of athletes we are taking in?
12 to 18.
Okay.
But if we have a couple exceptions, we can talk to the parents.
Okay, 12 to 18 years old. It could be any sport. We're talking basketball, softball, soccer, golf, tennis, football, cross country, you name it, volleyball.
Swimming. Yeah.
Although all the sports are different, one thing is always the same, and that's the human body. And our style of training and conditioning caters to the human body regardless of what activity you're participating in or what sport is your specialty. We train the body to be the most efficient at what it does no matter what it's doing. Mm-hmm. The cool thing about our approach is, what's the top reason our approach is great for these kid athletes, Nick?
It keeps them injury free.
Right, so injury free is rule number 1. Mm-hmm. We don't want you to get hurt when you're training. We don't want you to get hurt when you're playing. We don't want you to get hurt when you're practicing. We don't want you to get hurt when you're on your own trying to do things. So we train for, number 1, to prevent injuries in the session and to prevent injuries on the fields or on the courts or other places that you're playing your sport. We also train to teach. We train to teach your athlete how they should be moving, how they should be stretching, how they should be exercising for strength, balance, agility, speed, coordination, and all the other things that come along with a good training program. We also get them to understand more about their own body, because what you see on the surface is only the covering of what's actually on the inside, and it's quite elaborate. So we teach them about muscle, fascia, neurons, brain-body connection, the skeletal system, the connective tissue. All these things are actually responsible for athletic performance enhancement. It's not just about muscles, it's about all systems working together, and that's what our methodology specializes in. We do that. So we're very excited about it. We're looking forward to it. We know we're going to have a huge impact on lots of youth athletes. So as you're listening, as you're watching, if you are watching this in real time and you have a child or you know somebody, a neighbor, students that you work with, maybe you're a coach and you have a bunch of athletes you want to get signed up. We're starting December 2nd. Reach out to us through, we have an actual Facebook page now for this program. It's LIIT, Athletic Performance Enhancement. So you could find us on Facebook, or you can just shoot a text or call Nikki. What's the number?
904-891-3680.
So 904-891-3680. If you have any questions or you're interested, Nikki can send you the exact links, the exact info, the curriculum and the pricing info for when we get started in a few weeks. And then we're looking to roll this thing forward, because we know once we get our first handful of athletes in, word of mouth is going to spread because of how well they are doing. And we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So share the word, spread it out. If you're interested yourself, reach out to us. You know where to get us. And that's it for that. What else do we have for intro light talk?
From our meeting, let's see, we talked about our Wellness for Wifey program.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do we want to share about Wellness for Wifey?
So the holiday seasons are coming up, and oftentimes we hear from hubbies that they don't know what to get their wife, or from kids that say, I don't know what to get to mom. I don't know what mom wants, and then they usually pick out the standard, lotion and things that they already have. So we're coming up with that program, Wellness for Wifey, where it is there's lots of options, but one of the packages that we just talked about, a month of classes in studio, a massage, a trainer-assisted stretch. That's a one-on-one stretching, manually assisted with a coach. A fit queue, where the woman's going to be able to talk about all of her needs, concerns, things with health, nutrition, just everything that she's struggling with.
Nice.
The program's going to be awesome.
All right, so there you have it. Wellness for Wifey. It's for the guys or partners or spouses who want to get that special lady a really awesome gift this year that isn't just going to be forgotten, or maybe go in a jewelry box and never see the day of light or the light of day. And you want to get her something really special and impactful that's going to benefit everybody in the family, because when wifey is well, everybody benefits.
Yeah.
So, and if you have a mom, maybe you're middle age and you have a mom who's a decade or two older or something like that, you want to get wellness for granny, same thing. It's wellness for the woman.
Wellness for the woman.
And it's going to be an awesome program, lots of value packed, and it's going to set them in the right direction. They're going to learn things here about themselves, how they should be taking care of themselves, and the easiest and safest way to do it. It's priceless. It'll change their lives, it'll change yours. The other thing is, speaking of holiday gift certificates, if you're a woman watching this right now and you're worried about your husband or your partner or spouse, and you want them to get on a good program, even though this particular studio is themed for women, we actually, in the off hours, do personal training for some of the husbands. So we have the capability of doing personal training on the private hours with hubby, or anybody else in your family for that matter. So if you want to give the gift of fitness, wellness, longevity to anybody in your family, and you want a very specialized one-on-one personal training program, we've got those going for New Year's, and we'll get them in time to you for the Christmas holiday. If you want to give them a gift certificate to make it something tangible, we can totally do that, right? We can customize it too. It could be 1 month, it could be 3 months. If you want to give them a full year package of complete wellness and fitness training and guidance, we could do that as well, right? So just reach out to Nikki, 904-891-3680.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think
That's good.
covered,
Yeah.
right?
And if just, because I see things that are great deals, and sometimes I want them for myself. So if you're watching and you want this for you,
you deserve it if you want it for
deserve
you.
it. Yes.
Reach out and make it happen.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we ready for the 5 myths?
Let's get into the 5 myths.
Okay,
All
so context on these myths. These are, and there are more myths than just 5, but these specific ones have kind of been floating around lately because it's the time of year where we're getting toward the holidays, and a lot of people start getting upset that they're going to gain weight, and they're going to be over drinking and overeating at all the parties, and the family stress and the anxiety, so they use food and drink as the drug. And people are thinking about the new year, of course. Oh, this is going to be the year. This is it. I'm going to lose that weight. I'm going to get healthy. And out of every 100 people that start, maybe 1 or 2 make it to the spring. Everybody else is done in the first few weeks. And most of it is because of these myths. They make the wrong choices. They choose the wrong programs. They choose some kind of quick fix that isn't well matched to their needs. And it's also in part from a lot of the things that have been happening with some of the one-on-one clients that I work with. These are themes and topics that we've been overcoming with some of the breakthroughs. And often the breakthroughs come when we isolate a myth, we teach the right answers and get rid of the myth, and then we have the breakthrough in place of the myth. So we're going to highlight right now 5 of the top myths so that you can understand them, you can get a grasp on them, and hopefully, if you haven't gotten past them already, you can have a better understanding on how to get past these, and you can share these with other people. You can share the video if you're watching. Think of who to share that with. Audio, you can hit the share button, or you could send it through your smart device, hit it by hitting that little box with the arrow. Share it now. Think of somebody who needs to hear this, because this is going to be good. And relatively quick.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got, Nick? What's the first one?
Number 1. Ooh, we've heard this all the time. Have to work super hard and get through the pain to get results.
Yeah, so you have to push hard to get the results.
No
right?
pain,
no pain, no gain. Gotta kill it. We have to go beast mode if we're gonna get our bodies to change. Well, that's one of the biggest myths ever. And we're proving it every day that it's a faulty myth. And you don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to push hard. You don't have to go blood, sweat, and tears. You don't have to leave it all on the floor. You don't have to no pain, no gain it. None of that stuff. Truth of the matter is the body wants to be treated more kindly, more gently. And when you treat it gently with the right methodology of stimulation, then things start to change without risk of injury, without busting up your joints, without mentally creating this love-hate relationship that you eventually give up on working out altogether because it's just too much punishment and torture. When you train the body gently, you're training the neurological system, the connective tissue system, the fascia, yes, and the muscles, but they're not the only thing that needs to be trained and have in mind when you're using the body. The brain gets trained, it strengthens the mind-body connection. And so when we take this approach, right, we get stimulation, which is what we're looking for in the first place of all the important things inside of us, that guide the body to change and evolve toward its best potential. So in essence, we're not forcing it to change through punishment and power. We're guiding it to change the way it naturally wants to by training it in a way that the body enjoys and thrives on. And that's really it in a nutshell. And again, I'm in decent shape for an old guy, and I don't do any of the beast mode stuff. I'm not killing it. I'm not screaming. I'm not smacking chalk on my hands. No belt anymore. None of that stuff. And as you know, all the coaches in here are training with the method. Clients in here, we have long distance people all over the world training with this gentle, low impact, focused intensity methodology, getting better results than they've ever gotten in their entire lifetime. And so just these past few weeks, I've had 3 or 4 clients reminding me of the same thing. They had the myth. They thought they had to go hard. They thought they had to punish themselves. And they hated it. It's why they needed a coach. Kendall, Cindy, Patty, all saying the same thing. They just can't believe that it could have been this easy for all these past decades. But they're so glad they finally found out before another decade or 2 went by when they thought, oh, we have to go hard or go home, right? No. You don't have to go hard or go home. You can go easy at home. You can go easy at the studio, gentle, and it works. All right, that's myth number 1. What's myth number 2?
Debunked. Myth number 2. You have to eat extremely clean, meaning bland, to lose body
By the
fat.
way, I don't mean to cut you off. There are research studies now showing that high intensity isn't the way to go, right? We saw this in the Alpha magazine.
Yep.
They actually referenced at least 2 other studies showing that HIIT is not the be-all, end-all. Hardcore is not the be-all, end-all. Cross-training is not the be-all, end-all. And the heavy weightlifting with progressive overload is not the be-all, end-all. They're finding this gentler, methodical, safer approach, when done right with the right principles, is actually just as effective, if not more, for a lot of people. So we're not just making this up, right? So what was number 2 again?
Number 2, how to eat, or you have to eat extremely clean, meaning bland, to lose body fat.
Okay, really simple. This is a fast one. Most people think, oh, if I want to lose weight, I have to eat clean, and that means bland. Clean and bland are 2 different things. You can eat really clean. It could be quite enjoyable. You can still have treats on a clean diet, but they have to be good and well-timed, but it doesn't have to be bland. Meaning, we've got so many different spices, herbs, vinegars, oils, other condiments. There's some condiments I don't even like that are good, but I still have a whole menu of condiments to choose from. And it's endless, really. So when you start using these and you know how to cook with them, which is really fast and easy, that's why we have the Quickly Fit cooking videos, eating clean is not bland. It's actually crazy enjoyable. Your body will crave these things because all these herbs, spices, seasonings are from nature, meant to be consumed by human beings for a lot of health benefits, actually, in addition to just making good food taste good, right? So, doesn't have to be bland. Clean eating can be so awesome and multifaceted and extremely enjoyable that you don't want to eat the unclean stuff anymore, right?
Absolutely.
Simple.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think also when they think clean eating, they think, all right, I got a meal prep for hours. It's got to be, just like you said, no spices. I'm going to take this. It's just going to be the same food every time. A segment that, I don't know, did you bring your grocery bag today?
I didn't bring my grocery bag.
Well, in past episodes, if you guys have seen it or heard it, and we'll need to do it next week, in the grocery bag you had pizza, you had cereal,
chocolate,
different spices, different cinnamon,
French rolls.
So you don't have to say, okay, well now I can only eat this rice and then this piece of protein.
Right, and steamed broccoli.
Come on.
No, it doesn't work. It never ends well.
There's so many clean options that
once you learn the principles of proper eating for what the body needs and the health-giving elements and all the right foods and beverages are, it totally changes the dynamic. You're not on a diet anymore. You're eating in a way that supports your life so that you can live to your best potential. And it changes the game. We're not going into a bodybuilding competition. We're eating for life. It's way different than that.
Yep.
Which takes us to
number 3. You have to be on a restrictive diet to lose weight.
Okay, so another one closely related to the clean eating one. Restrictive diets have such this sad place in society, because when the average person who doesn't know better, because they haven't learned, they haven't had a chance to learn, they haven't come across the right information yet, they think, oh, I got to get rid of this weight, I'm going to go on a diet, right? That's why there's a bazillion diets out there, because everybody's starting a new one every few months, especially in the new year. And regular people who are not well versed in all this think, oh, I've got to go on a diet if I want to lose weight. How can I lose weight if I'm not on a diet, right? Well, that's how you do it. Actually, hold this, please. I'm going to show you what can happen when you're not on a diet. You see this? You see one of our poster girls? She didn't go on a diet. She didn't go on a diet. She just started doing the right things that we know we're supposed to do to feed the body, to optimize it properly. It practically does it itself, right? So, I'm poking around here on the audio. I'm walking around on camera. You can see me getting a little animated. You don't have to restrict. As a matter of fact, restriction backfires. What we have to do is learn, okay, what can we eat? Not what can't we eat. The focus has to shift from all of a sudden what we can't have to, wait a minute, let's see everything we can have, start from there, and then we synchronize it with our body's individual needs so that even though we're choosing all the right choices from this massive, awesome menu, we're not overdoing it. Because we still have to eat in a way that gives the body what it needs, but doesn't overfeed it, even with good foods. So instead of restriction, we look at inclusion. What can we include from the menu of this big earth that was stocked with foods that this human body needs by grand design, not by accident, grand design. It's all there for us. So what can we include? And then when we include all the right things, magically the bad stuff gets pushed out because there's no room for that stuff anymore, right? So it's, right? Not, oh, what can't I eat?
Right.
Automatically you set yourself up for failure. This mass market myth that you have to restrict, to go on a diet, to lose the weight, totally warped way of looking at it. And the diet industry loves that because they know they have a customer in life with you because you'll be back in 3 months or next New Year or next vacation or next spring, you name it. Key is you don't have to diet. And I know all my clients that I work with learn there's no diet they're on. We're just changing their mindset around food and human potential and a good existence in this world. And that's the philosophy we teach here in the studio. There's no diets that we promote. It's all about choosing a healthy eating path and then developing that over time into something bigger that you could do anywhere, at home, vacation, on the road, out for business, out for a weekend, a party, an event. And there's flexibility. It's doesn't mean you can't enjoy yourself. It's just strategic and in a way that doesn't self-defeat you and make you self-destruct. Does that explain that myth? Does that debunked and myth busted?
Myth busted. All right, where are we at? Number 4 already?
Yeah.
Have to do a lot of cardio at a high heart rate to be leaned and toned.
Yeah, so I mean this high cardio, heart rate training, red zone stuff, that's fine and dandy if like you're pushing for athletic performance and you need to increase your VO2 max. But the majority of us aren't going into no competition. We're not going to compete. We're not going to the races. Most of us, some of us are, and you got to do that stuff. But for regular, average, everyday health, wellness, fitness, longevity, we don't have to go red zone it. We don't have to do that 3 times a week. Matter of fact, good, brisk walking, a few miles a day or every other day, combined with the right type of body weight physical training for the muscles, neurons, fascia, connective tissue, and skeletal system, consistently done over time, combined with the right eating methodologies that are doable by anybody, because all the food exists out there for us, ready to go. We can walk down the street and get any kind of awesome food that we want. We just know what to need to know what to choose. We don't have to go crazy with cardio. It's just a myth. And the myth serves the people who've been taught to think, oh, if you don't do high intensity cardio and get in the red zone, you're not going to burn the body fat off. Well, that's just trainer nonsense. That's fitness mythology. And it's not true. Because if it was, I'd be twice my weight. I don't go high intensity. I have an easy time gaining weight, as I've proven in the past during some of the dark times in my life. But I'm in the best shape of my life now. And I don't even go near the red zone, let alone like push myself to do high intensity cardio. All my stuff is moderate. It's all moderate, safe on my joints, safe on my mind, allows me to enjoy it and do it consistently over time as a lifestyle habit. And wouldn't you know, the results add up. And most of my body fat that I used to carry around and struggle with is gone, and it's off. And it's not coming back, even though I'm not doing high intensity, lots of cardio. It's really simple. When you start removing these myths and putting the right answers together, it changes the face of everything. The myths get debunked by combining all the right answers, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a client I was talking to the other day. She's like, well, all right, so I know I have to start running again. No, we don't have to run.
No.
Brisk walking, perfect. Biking, perfect.
Yeah.
Swimming, it's just consistency. I love that you mentioned that.
It's huge.
Because,
Key word.
Yep. High intensity cardio hard to do that consistently, even as an athlete.
That's right. And the people who do that stuff consistently, the physical therapists, the chiropractors, the orthopedists, they love those crowds that are going high intensity, long distance, overtraining, overuse injuries. They love all of those people because it's a huge patient load for them. It keeps their schedules packed.
Yeah.
And it's not the way it has to be.
Yeah, personally. So when I was in college, I think between my sophomore and junior year, my summer, I was like, all right, this is going to be the fittest I'll ever be. I was training at high intensity for so long, 2-a-days, sometimes 3-a-days. And I wound up and not recovering, not really stretching, not slowing down and really feeling things, just getting it through, the kind of like, go hard, go home. I developed stress fractures in both my shins.
Not surprised.
Many. To where I had to go to physical therapy. I had to miss the first week of preseason. It was just awful. So it was just like, for me,
A setback.
It was a setback.
Right.
I was injured. I couldn't do what I was training to do. My body felt horrible.
You should have reached out to me back then.
I should have. I know. You know what? Hindsight's always 20/20.
Right.
But for anyone, just anyone, you can do cardio consistently. That's safe for you and it's going to help you long term.
Big time.
No matter what your goals are. All right, number 5.
Number 5.
The final one. Ooh, okay. You can change your body / lose body fat with passive treatments, devices, and or quick fixes.
Yeah, this is good. It's really simple. There are so many things out there. You see them on the internet, in the weekly coupon flyers that come in the mail, commercials, radio commercials. I hear some horrible radio commercials when I do listen to radio the few times. I can't believe the stuff that is being advertised. Here's the deal. You will not freeze fat off your body. You're not going to drink it off with a detox tea cleanse. You're not going to build muscle with some laser light therapy in a vacuum sealed coffin with your head sticking out. And I'm leaving a lot out here, but you get the idea. None of this stuff is going to work. It never did, never will. The only thing that happens is people end up spending a few $1,000s, maybe more sometimes, for the promise of going in and coming out in a few hours and having your problem fixed. The only thing is you're left with a little less money than when you started and you still have the same problem. Sometimes, unfortunately, people get scarred or they actually have adverse effects to these cockamamie treatments and procedures. And let's say, for instance, one of these things did work. Let's say some wrap, melting, freezing this, laser that treatment worked. That still doesn't give you health, wellness, and longevity. You're not training your body. You're not training all of your systems. You're not building up your immunity. You're not beating osteoporosis. You're not improving your heart health. You're not doing all the things that a proper fitness and nutrition program are going to do for you. So it's a false sense of fitness and being at a good weight, if it even works. So the fact that I've never had anybody in my life come to me and say, oh, I went and did this procedure, now look at me, it worked. Nobody in my lifetime. And I've met lots of people. Anybody who has confessed to doing those has said it either scarred them, didn't work at all, and or cost them a lot of money in the process. Those are the only complaints I've heard from all the people I've worked with. And I've yet to see anything work out that way. But even if something was to, you still don't get the benefits of proper fitness, physical fitness activities, good nutrition, which we're supposed to be doing anyway, and possibly some healthy supplementation, which we could do as a topic for another day. That's really it. There's nothing out there that's going to do the trick if it's overnight or a weekend thing or what have you. So we could bust that myth. We've just debunked it. None of that stuff worked. If it did work, you would see overwhelming proof, because lots and lots of people would then do it. If you think your neighbor or your sister-in-law or your hairdresser, if you think they did it and it worked, and you saw it and you saw the proof and you trusted they were truthful with you, they would be telling everybody, and everybody would be going to do it. But you know the story. They all confess, oh yeah, it didn't work, I tried it. They said I have to keep going back if I want more results and pay for more treatments. And I thought it was only the first one or two that would work. Or no, I actually didn't do it because my coworker did it and she's gaining even more weight now. Or it didn't freeze anything off, or it didn't wrap anything off, or whatever. People just know, and they just don't do it because somebody else was what's the goat thing? What's the guinea pig?
Guinea pig.
Somebody else was the guinea pig, and they say, oh, well, Sally did it, so the other 5 of us in her close circle of friends, we're not going to do it. Right. Didn't work for her. Right. So stay away from all that stuff. Save your money. Invest in your health, wellness, and longevity with proper fitness, nutrition, supplementation, and mindset programming, because up here is what needs to change. Yeah. When you flip the switch up here between the ears, that's when you start getting results and changes that will last you a lifetime.
Yeah. Health habits. All right. Those were our 5. Wrap it up.
All right. If you are local and you want to come in, never heard of us before until today, you can come in for a few free sessions with the class scenario and or with a personal training session, a free one-on-one session to get a real sense of the method, what it's all about, how it can benefit you, and you'll learn a few things. Mm-hmm. You can get in touch with Nikki at
904-891-3680.
Or you can find us on Facebook at Sculptafit, SCULPTAFIT, or you can go to sculptafit.com. You can find the phone number there. There's a contact page there. You can email us some info. That'll go straight to Nikki, and you can include your contact info and she'll reach out to you. And again, like we said in the beginning, with the new year coming up, we've got a bunch of different gift certificate packages for your loved ones, yourself, any males in your family. Me and the team have the capabilities of training them in the off hours for their specific needs and goals and their health challenges. So that's an option. And you might be listening or seeing this in the way off in the future after the new year. Reach out because we'll still be doing those programs then as well. And if you're long distance, watching this in another part of the world, on the other side of the world, another country, we've got lots of goodies for you. We have lots of long distance things that we can help you with remote coaching. We can sell you a home gym system that you and the whole family can use. And we got a lot of freebies for you. And it all starts with the freebies because they're good ones and they'll give you an onboarding on-ramp to our world and everything we do and how we do it. Just go to fitnesstraining.live. That's fitnesstraining, the 2 words, .live. You'll sign up for all the freebies that you'll see right in front of you there. And then we'll be sending you more and more. And you'll be able to get a link to either connect with us further to help you even more, or you can get discounted access to the complete video-on-demand training portal and website with almost 100 videos now we're up to, and adding more and more each month. And you'll never be at a loss for exactly what you should be doing the right way for the rest of your life. That's what we're here for. Reach out, and if you already know us, you're already in the community here, local or long distance, and you're watching because you love what we share with you, we thank you for watching. We thank you for tuning in on the audio. Think of somebody to share this with. At least one person, 1,000 or a few thousand, great. If you work at a corporate location and you want to share this with all the employees because of the messages that we're sharing and the education we're giving to help them become better people, they become better at their jobs, better performers, better staff, and everybody benefits in the process. So I'll let you talk to the camera while I shut off the audio portion of the podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
This is Joey Atlas signing off, and who else?
Nikki Doherty.
We'll see you and speak with you next time. All right.
So let's give a sneak peek extra for those that are still watching.
Still watching. Go ahead.
All right. So what would you say then the number one truth is after these 5 myths have been debunked?
Number one truth?
Yeah.
The number one truth is that we have to value our health, our life. We have to value our life. And we have to let the value of our life be the driver behind our reasons why we want to and should be taking care of ourselves. Not because we just want to lose some weight and get back into the smaller clothing or look good for vacation or the new year's coming. It's got to be tied to deeper reasons why you want to be your healthiest, get the most out of life, live as long as possible and as strong as possible so that you can do things till the very last day. You can live your life with vitality and vibrancy and your full capabilities. So that's the truth. Truth is you have to put yourself first for all the right reasons. Your mind is in a good place, the right place when you do that. And from that mindset is where you can make the right decisions, take the right actions, make the right choices. And then that's where all the good things happen. Because without the right mindset, we make poor choices. We make the wrong decisions. We go down the wrong path. And we set ourselves up for setbacks and failure only to have to start all over again with now even more work to do if we're even going to come out of it. Cool thing is there's always hope. No matter where you are, no matter how many times you have not reached success, if you're still alive, there's still hope. The key is to get the right help, the right guidance. And when you do that, that's when magic happens. There's always a way out if you're still alive.
Well, value yourself.
That's it. Put yourself first, see the value in you, because when you make yourself the best version of you, everybody around you benefits. Mm-hmm. Is that not true?
That is absolutely true.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you being here. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you have a big question that you want us to answer on the next one, and we will do it.